Alright, so the first thing that we're gonna do is I'm going to show you how to make an altered book into a journal. How to make basically a vintage book into a journal. It really isn't that difficult. But this is a journal that I use for practice sketches and things like that. I find I really like sketching on book papers, so I use this journal to practice contour drawings and sketches, and I did 30 days of a contour drawing and 30 days of and like blind contour sketches and stuff like that, which is basically just drawing without picking up your pencil. So this book is a book about birds. I can't remember the exact name, but it has some really thick pages, so you don't need to glue them together at all to make them thicker. You can just use them as is. So first I'm going to take my Liquitex Basics gesso and gesso the page. And I'm using this Ranger texture tool. I like to use the back of it to spread my gesso around. So it's, like I said, it's really simple. You could do this. A lot of times I just put gesso on and that's it. You know, then I sketch on top of it. No need to make like a big background or anything like that, because if you don't want to, because this is just for practice, for, you know, for yourself. So I did put quite a bit of gesso on the papers, so I'm just taking the rest of it and I'm spreading it on the page behind it. And if it sticks together, that's fine, and you can pull it apart or leave it, you know, whichever. So now that we've done a spread with the gesso, another thing I like to do, and I want to show you, is to take some gouache and to use that as a background. This is Turner Acryl gouache, so it's acrylic. So it's not, I don't believe it's reactivatable. I could be wrong on that. So I'm just taking some of my favorite colors. There's like a turquoise blue and there's a Payne's gray, or I think it's called a cool gray. So those are the two I'm going to use, and my palette paper is some of this hamburger patty paper. It's essentially like deli paper, just I think just slightly more waxy. It's kind of funny, this particular patty paper is less waxy than, say, your normal, and it's hard to find. So anyway, so the cool thing about gouache is that it's kind of like watercolor. It's very easily spread with water, and I think it looks really cool whenever you use it as a background, and especially when you use a lot of water, it leaves, you know, those watermarks. Like, you can really see it in this cool gray color. You can see like the watermarks running and like the paintbrush strokes, and I think that is really cool, especially as a background for some sketches. So now that it's dry, we're going to move on to the next one, and I'm going to use this, I think it's opera pink. It's like super hot pink. So that's going to be pretty much it for this section with the altered book. Like I said, pretty easy. And now we are going to use the book and the backgrounds that we made to practice our sketches.